All right, I am here today with track and field head coach Craig Perry and throws coach Robert Wood. How you guys doing today?
Doing well.
Doing good. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, no problem. Okay, so let's get a breakdown of the indoor. The men finished, they won the East and finished third in the region, and the women were second in the East, correct? Mm-hmm. And sixth in the region.
Correct.
Yes. Kind of take us through the indoor season. Give us a little recap about that.
Men had a really solid indoor season. Women, we battled injuries, had a tough time. Our best girl from returning sophomore, Kamani Evans, had a injury-plagued indoor season. She's actually sitting out outdoor season, so that really set us back on the women's side. But still had some really good performances on the women's side. The men, we showed up and did what we could. I mean, our two teams in our region got second and third at nationals, and those are the two teams that beat us in the region. So we're pretty proud where we finished indoors.
You two of your throwers, Miles Hoffer and Mar Hoffer, and Chase Dennis. Miles was national runner-up, and then Chase was fourth in the weight throw, and they placed on their last throw of their meet. Correct?
Yeah, it was. I've been in it for 17 years now, and that was the most intense weight throw competition I'd ever been to. Because first through fourth was within half a meter of each other.
Right.
But Chase and Miles, both in their last throw, went from fifth and sixth to second and fourth. So big throws, came up big. Miles missed winning a national title probably by less than a half a meter. So as a freshman, so he's already motivated about next year. And Chase, he was being recruited, and that's actually got him probably more heavily recruited since that, because he did it at the national meet on his last throw in front of basically every big school in the country was there.
Right.
So,
right after he threw that throw, I had two Division I coaches grab me immediately and say, "What's his story? Where's he going?" So, he definitely got himself recruited after that.
yeah.
Now, as coaches, you see, like you just said, they were fifth and sixth place for the throws right before that last throw. Is your heart pounding on that last throw, or is it kind of just, hey, it's one of those things? Or
He's in the barn. I mean, we've done everything we're supposed to do, try to do, get him ready. All it is, the national meet for us, for our kids, should be the cherry on top. They've done all the work. Now you go have fun, go enjoy it, and let it go. And that's what those guys did. I mean, like I said, Miles had a great series, probably the best series he's ever had, which it was. I mean, he was over his PR 5 of the 6 times, I think, that he had legal marks. Chase went from 1662, which is about 54 feet, to almost 60 feet.
oh wow,
So, it was a big competition, and it was fun. It was fun.
I could say as a coach, it's as an athlete, I was never nervous. I always went into competition, was cool, calm, collected, had a good time, I enjoyed what I was doing. As a coach, I'm nervous the entire time. It's I'm in khakis and a polo walking around thinking I can't do anything physically. All I can do is try to help the best that I can while we're there. But we had a lot of confidence in those guys. I mean, they warmed up and we're throwing just some massive throws in the warm-ups, and we knew that was coming. On the last throw, Chase jumped to second, and then Miles and another guy passed him on their last throws also. So it was a really exciting competition. But it's really nerve-wracking to sit there and watch because your hands are kind of tired. All you can do is hope that all the work that they put in all year long pays off, and it did. I mean, those guys were phenomenal that day.
kind of like a parent, then, yeah.
It is, and like most of the other sports people think about basketball, football stuff. You game manage,
Right.
We don't really game manage. We do everything we can to get them ready. Now, coach race paces and stuff like that, calling out times, and hey, you got to do this, you got to do that. But being able to switch somebody out and stuff, we can't do that. They got to go perform.
Right.
So
when you call out times and stuff like that during the races, are you allowed to do that during the meet?
Yeah, at nationals it's kind of tough. I mean, you're separated from them. You're across the track. You're trying the best you can to kind of give them tips, but all that stuff preparation goes ahead of time. I mean, we try to make sure we know what our race plan is, what we're in the throws. They're able to set and kind of talk to them and make adjustments after each throw. Hey, you let it off a little early here, or you didn't get your hill around, or they can actually talk to them while they're racing. I don't have that luxury. So pretty much all of our race prep goes ahead of time, and then you hope that they go out and execute the race.
What is the national meet like for you guys, our national tournament, compared to basketball or volleyball? Is it kind of everyone thrown out there, or is it,
Yeah, there's 30, 40 teams at the
there's like 50 and
teams at the national meet. I mean, there's athletes from all over the country, and so you're all you really can do is compete against who you line up against at that moment,
Right.
and some of these guys we've never seen at all. That's part where our job comes in, to say, hey, this is what this guy can do, this is what this guy can do, and hopefully you can kind of fit in the middle somewhere, or we can put together a race strategy that can beat these guys. Even without seeing them. Now, some of these guys that we've seen, the region schools and some of the better schools, Barton, Cloud, these guys, we can kind of prep for. But some of these schools that are out of state, it's kind of tough we don't see them, so it's a little tougher to prep for.
Now, do you guys trade video, or is it like you just look at time type stuff?
Track's pretty black and white,
Right.
Yeah, you're fast or you're not, or you throw far or you don't. And
jump far, jump high, whatever.
And so track nationals, we kind of know who the guys are that we're going to be competing against. I mean, we can pretty well guess who's going to have a chance to win the national titles.
And the other funny thing is we've recruited a lot of those kids.
Yeah.
So we actually have a personal relationship with some of those kids that didn't come to Coffeyville.
Right.
And being crazy too. I mean, like Coach said, Chase throws the big throw, and here comes all these coaches. You're like, get off me. Let me do my job. And
Right.
And it gets like that.
It's kind of a weird sport where like the competitors are rooting for each other in a way. Like the throwers from different schools, like I'll throw a big throw, and the other throwers will come over and congratulate them and stuff. Yeah.
It's different.
Right.
Yeah. It's pretty exciting though.
They want that because it's going to hype everybody up. I mean, we were at Texas Tech and they got this big. What do you think? It's got to be 45-foot video board, and they've got the guys up on that, so everybody in the facility can see them. Or
Right.
the races on it, and it's loud. It's
The energy's in there is amazing.
there's energy.
Huh?
Yeah,
and it's being broadcast by Flow Track, which broadcasts the NCAA national meets and the US championships and stuff. I mean, it's the premier streaming service that's out doing all this stuff, and so our national meet is a big time meet. I mean, most of the people that are winning these national titles are going to go to major Division I schools when they leave. So it's and that's why you see. I mean, every Division I school you can name is at this. Watching our athletes, and we try to prepare all year long. Miles actually all year long, he kept telling him, like, you're going to see coaches. You're going to see coaches. We get to the meet, and he came up and he said, Coach, you told me. He said, but I didn't. Until you see it, you don't realize. Like, every school is here. And I said,
Right.
yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
That is pretty intense. I mean, again, for baseball and basketball and all that stuff, everyone's not pulling for each other. It's very cutthroat. So I couldn't imagine.
Well, not that it's not cutthroat, because everybody wants to win.
We want
Right.
to win, but it's at the end of the day, you're still all you can do is
What you can do.
is your mark, is
Right.
your time, it's your jump, it's what you put out there, and so everyone else, if they don't beat that mark, then you only have yourself to blame. It's a very vulnerable sport.
Right.
It's you and yourself doing what you can, and so if you get beat, you get beat.
You can't fall back on anyone.
Yeah, it wasn't. Your team didn't let you down.
Right.
You let yourself down, or you won because you did what you had to do.
Right.
Or you didn't because you underprepared, and
It works both ways. And I think that's why there's that camaraderie, because you can see someone else do well, and maybe you did your best that day, but that's cool. They did good too. I can go shake their hand.
And a lot of these guys do know each other from high school and from AAU and summer meets and stuff. So, they're following each other on Instagram, Snapchat, whatever.
You see a lot
it
of
is.
teams mingling at these things because
Right. Especially now with social media.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Right.
It's crazy.
And you guys had eight people chosen for All-Americans. Dodley, Pittman. Pittman was seventh in the triple jump. Miles Marhofer, Chase Dennis, excuse me. Gilliam again, Thuston, Cook, and Kiki. Kind of go throughout our indoor season.
Kind of a wide range of events there. Chase and Miles in the weight throw. Julian broke our 600-meter school record, which I think it held for 25 years. Kid's on fire. I mean, he actually just broke a school record outdoors also. So, he's running really, really well and did a fantastic job indoors. I mean, that 600 was probably the best 600 I've ever seen. and then Brian and Dodley, both All-Americans in the triple jump. I know it's not the marks that they wanted, but they showed up and were All-Americans that day. Kiki West also in triple jump. Coach Reeves done a fantastic job with the jumpers. Sierra Thuston, she's a transfer from Johnson County. She was an All-American in the 600 this year for us. And then Kayla Cook.
Yeah, Kayla's battled some injuries and stuff, but when her, I think it was her last throw. Actually, her last throw, she ends up going from 9th to 8th and ends up becoming All-American. So
and it wasn't a massive PR for her that day too.
It was almost a meter PR.
Really?
Yeah, it was a big PR. It was almost 50 feet. And so, and our sport's a little different than baseball, basketball, football, where you're chosen as an All-American. Ours is not.
Right.
You can be the number one guy in the
top
country,
8.
and if you're not top 8, you're not an All-American.
I mean, we had a rough go of it with Jermaine Holt. Jermaine was ranked, third in the nation going into the 400, goes into the finals ranked, I think, third. And he was going for it. He was going to go for the national title. He kept saying, I'm going to go and try to win this thing. And he'd been dealing with a little bit of a hamstring issue, and he took off, and about 30 meters into the race, pulled up and couldn't finish. And, I mean, this is a guy that, had a chance to win. I mean, he's one of the best guys in the country, and
right.
Your heart goes out to a guy like that. I mean, no one works harder than Jermaine, and I mean no one. Not at Coffeyville. I'm saying there's not a person that can physically work harder than this guy. He wants it more than anybody you'd ever talk to, and so this guy puts in all the work, all the effort, gets to nationals, and on the day that it matters, he gets hurt, and it's unfortunate. But if it could happen to anybody, I said, it probably hurts me the most that it happened to him, but at the same time, it's the guy that could handle it the most. He's the one that knows adversity is part of sport. So he took it in stride, and he's out there running again now in outdoors, and he's doing well. So it stinks for him, but at the same time, he's someone that'll come back and be even stronger and better from that.
Right.
Yeah, it's like I said, it's different because you can be like Coach said, number one kid in the country, number two kid in the country. You're probably going to win a national title or be top 3, and something happens, you foul 3 of your throws, you foul 3 of your jumps, you false start, it's over with.
Right. Mm-hmm. Now, can you elect not to, he was third in the nation and everything, can you be like, I'm not going to run in nationals, or is it you have to?
If you want those All-Americans, you have to.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't know if you could protect or not.
No.
And a lot of our people are still, being recruited at that time. And like I said, all these schools that are there, they're trying to put up marks and show people, this is what I'm made of. And that was Jermaine's goal. He was going in to say, they're going to walk out of here knowing my name. And I think people did. From the prelims, I mean, we watched the guy run his second fastest time ever, and it looked easy. And so he walked off the track, and I said, oh, that guy's going to roll tomorrow. And it's unfortunate that,
life happens, right?
Yeah.
But Devon was our athletic trainer, and he was right all over him. I mean, within a half a second, he had him and picked him up. And so I was pretty proud of Coffeyville Community College in general there. I mean, a lot of kids you'll see get hurt, and they're laying on the track for 5 minutes. And our guy was scooped up within seconds. So
not to get off of our podcast or anything like that, but our athletic training staff has done very well for all of our sports. Actually,
they do a great job.
They have a tough job. They have a lot of athletes that they got to deal with, and track.
It was just the two of them too, and now that Devon has moved on, it's just Aaron taking care of all of our athletes.
Right. It's really tough, and we know the tough job that she has, and we always say track athletes are probably the neediest, and part of the reason why is you kind of need to be 100% to run fast, and so a little tweak of something, and we're not going to run to the best of our ability, and if you don't run fast on that day, it doesn't work
matter.
for you.
Right.
Yeah, and so that's why they're so needy. But our staff's done a great job keeping them healthy, and I mean we've battled some injuries this year for sure, but to have someone be right there for Jermaine right when it happened was pretty
great.
Pretty special.
Transitioning to our outdoor, currently our men are 6th in the nation and our women are 10th in the nation. And we talked about Gilliam. I know I'm probably butchering that last
Julian
name.
Gillum.
Yeah, Gillum. Sorry.
No, you're
Don't
good.
come and find me. He broke another school record with the 400 meters. Kind of go through the outdoor season as it's progressing, even though it feels like it's winter.
Yeah, he opened up. Yeah, it does feel like it's winter. We cannot catch a break with the weather. But he opened up with the 400 hurdles 2 weekends ago, and he didn't feel like he was ready. I kept saying, hey, just roll out there and let's see what happens. And he rolls out there and breaks a school record. I think he's ranked third in the country right now or so in the 400 hurdles.
Yeah, he's definitely a top 5.
Yeah, he's and he looked a mess doing it. To be honest, I mean, he's there's a lot more ability there for him to run fast. I'm excited to see what he does going forward. I mean, that like I said, this kid's special. I mean, he's someone that will definitely win a national title by the time he graduates Coffeyville for sure.
Having that potential is pretty intriguing for you as a coach. Yeah.
Oh yeah, especially a guy that works hard, shows up, wants to be good. I mean, he's texting me workouts last night. I mean, things that are hard workouts, brutal workouts. That I mean, he's telling me about these 800 hurdles that Brashawn Jackson, a professional 400-meter hurdle, does. He said, "Coach, we need to do this." I mean, when the guy wants it that bad, like it makes your job fun. You get to show up and you get to work with these guys. And he works in a group, the middle distance group. They're basically 400, 800 meter runners that all. I mean, it's the best group I've ever personally coached. I mean, they show up every day. They want it, and exciting. It's fun when your athletes want it that bad. I mean, it makes you want it even more.
Right. And we talked about so far, and it's early in the season. You guys have 28 national qualifying marks.
So far.
For both men's and women.
Yeah, combined.
So, I mean, the momentum from the indoors carrying over into the outdoor.
And we're more of an outdoor team, I think, than we are an indoor team. Yeah. We're one of the best throws programs in the country. You get to add a couple of throws when you go outdoors. We do 2 throws indoors. We do 4 outdoors. So that helps us. I mean, we have some really good throwers that helps us out in that area.
Especially on the women's side, because we're probably better spread out on the women's side throws area because really good javelin thrower Samantha Daly from Alabama. She's ranked third, I think, third or fourth right now.
Brooklyn Wilson, fourth in disc.
Brooklyn Wilson's fourth in the disc. Threw a huge PR from her high school the other day. If we get some good weather one day with some good wind, she might be out around 170 with the disc. I honestly believe that. I mean, she's a big time discus thrower, and I've already had, again, like Coach said, and we said earlier, when kids start putting up marks, we start getting, even freshmen, we start getting calls and emails and text messages, and so it's
exciting.
It is. It's fun. It's fun for us. It's the freshmen. Some of them are a little too worried about next year and not taking care of this year, but that's what comes with the territory. So, and
outdoors, we're sprint heavy, and we had the 4x100 relay. Both of those teams have qualified for nationals, are ranked top 8 in the country. The reason why our women are ranked higher than they were indoors is the throws and some of the outdoor events kind of help us out. And then the 400 hurdles is a good event for us, something that we think we can do well in. And we're pretty excited for this outdoor season. I mean, men being ranked 6th right now, you're not given that. We were ranked 7th, I think, going into indoor nationals, and we came out with a 13th place finish. Jermaine's injury and stuff like that doesn't help, but if we can stay healthy, top 10 should be in the cards for us coming outdoors.
If everything falls into place, I mean, again,
you got to show up on that day. You got to do it. Yeah, that's the tough part.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully, as we get towards the national tournament, the weather warms up and makes it a lot easier for you guys.
Yeah, the weather's been a killer this year. We just can't stay on a training progression that we'd like. Several days we've had to go inside. We've had to move practices.
We had to cancel practice.
This week we're going to Pitt State, and the weather for the next few days is in the mid 70s, and then on Saturday it's going to be 40. So we're gonna have a nice cold day on Saturday to compete in. But
you would think Reeves, being a meteorologist, he could at least predict some more stuff for you guys.
He's no help.
I
he's a great jumps coach. He's a really good sprints coach, but he is meteorology. I don't know if that's his thing.
Yeah, and for those who can't see, Reeves is in the room with us. We're giving him a hard time. But okay, so next weekend you guys are going to Pitt, or this weekend you guys are going to Pitt.
We're at Pitt this weekend. We're at KU Relays next weekend, which not everybody's going to go. Because it's a high caliber meet.
You have to qualify. They only take so many entries for each event.
And then we're at Missouri Southern the week after, and then we're at our region championships at Hutch, and then 2 weeks after that we're at nationals.
Yeah, our season will be over before you know it.
Yeah, we're on the downhill slide and just trying to. A lot of the kids that qualify are just trying to maintain, keep them healthy, and sometimes that's the toughest thing to do because they want to go run faster, which we want that too, but we also need you to stay healthy.
Right, be smart about it.
Yeah, so.
It's kind of like what we talk about it with baseball. March drags, but then April is just boom, boom, boom.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, we're back in the fall preparing for the spring.
Right.
So
that's a long fall.
Yes, it is. What is one thing that we can expect, at this Pitt State this weekend?
Cold temperatures. So you never know with marks when temperatures like that. Some people show up and they don't care about the weather, and those people will probably do really well. And if you come in with a negative mindset and you're worried about the weather, you're probably going to struggle a little bit. So I know Julian will be, doing another 400 hurdles there. I think our throws will go well.
Our jumpers will be ready.
We're going to open up with our 4x4 relays this weekend. I think we got Jermaine healthy enough, roll a 4x4 out there that we think should run pretty fast. So we should put up some good marks. I mean, the weather's it's not going to be snowing on us,
Right.
so we should be able to do something out there.
Well, best of luck, guys. And again, thank you for taking the time to come out here and talk with us. And hope to have you guys out here soon for the Nationals.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely.